Hello world, it is Tuesday, June 3rd, 2008. This is day 3 of the Southern Cross Novel Challenge, which is what I'm participating in right now. The goal of the novel challenge is to write 50,000 words of fiction in the month of June. I've chosen to write my words on a novel that I already have in progress. And the personal goal that I've set for myself is 2,000 words of fiction a day. First day of the challenge, I had about 900 fiction words, which didn't make me happy. Well, it made me happy, but not as happy as 2,000. So yesterday I decided I'm going to stick to my goal. I'm going to get my 2,000 words. Making a decision and making it work are two completely different things. And I didn't factor in the problem of writer's block. So I spent most of yesterday just hashing over chapter 1. And I've been working on this novel for 5 years. I've had the first line of the book since day 1, but that's as far as chapter 1 has ever gotten. The rest of the book's coming along pretty well. Chapter 1, I'm stuck on page 1. I think part of the problem is that the entire page is filled with a conversation between my two main characters. It just starts right in the conversation. You know that uncomfortable feeling when you're talking to somebody and there's those long silences, and you don't know the person really well enough to be comfortable with silence, so you feel like you have to fill that gap somehow. And that leads to things like, well, my weather's real good. How's your weather today? That sort of thing. Well, that sounded like my chapter 1. And I think the problem was, what I didn't realize until just yesterday, I didn't know my characters very well. So I wasn't comfortable with them enough to have a conversation. So yesterday I worked on chapter 1 all day long and didn't get very far. Finally, at about 10:30 at night, I thought to myself, according to my work schedule, I quit at 11. And there was no way I was going to make 2,000 words by 11 o'clock at night. So I toyed with the idea of giving up, because I thought, I don't have to write 2,000 words today. I can write 4,000 tomorrow. If it's a good day, it'll work. But that was admitting defeat and admitting to myself that I had failed. So I thought, well, let's try something else. Microphone back in my ear. There we go. So there I was, 10:30 at night, and I had writer's block. So what I decided to do was go get a cup of tea, relax, try to get some inspiration from another book about writing. And the one that I'm reading now is called Right Away by Elizabeth George. This book is totally awesome, and it's just filled with so much that's been inspiring to me. But yesterday I just picked it up, opened the book at random. Two things that I saw. First thing was her chapter about character development. And reading that, it made me realize I don't need to be working on chapter 1. I need to be getting to know my characters better, because if I knew them well, I could have a conversation with them very easily. So I knew that. Second thing that she wrote, which I really liked, was she talked about bum glue, which basically means sticking your rear end in the chair until you actually get words out of your fingertips onto the keyboard. So I looked at the clock and I realized it was 10:30 at night. I had a lot to do tomorrow, and a lot that didn't involve writing on my novel. A lot of business, a lot of art, a lot of life going on. But I thought to myself, if I want to be a writer, if I want to make this novel happen, I have to do what it takes. I have to commit to the 2,000 words that I promised myself, and I have to stick my rear end in the chair until I actually get them done. So I thought, okay, we're settling in for a night of writing. I was giving myself permission to be a writer, which I am, but which I don't often give myself permission to do. So I went, got myself a cup of tea, walked around a little bit, tried to kind of clear my head, because I still didn't know what I was going to write. I just knew I was going to write. And all of a sudden I got this mental picture. It just popped into my head. It was just a picture of someone sitting on the bank of a lake, dipping their toes in the water. Now, I don't know who it was, and I don't know why they were doing what they were doing, where they were, what they had to do with the story. But I thought, okay, it's better than I had a half hour ago, so we're going to run with it. So I started thinking about it, and I asked myself those questions. Who is it? Where are they? What's going on around them? What are they thinking about? What's happening in their life? And before I knew it, my head just started filling with words. So I went and I got to my notebook as fast as I could. And to make a long story short, I wound up closing up shop at 5 a.m. Sun was rising, birds were singing, and I had over 3,000 words of fiction about one of my main characters. Basically, I sat down with her the whole evening, or the whole early morning, and she told me her life story. Now, I was very tired at the end of that, but it felt so good because I had given myself permission to be a writer. I had surpassed my goal, and I'd gone the distance. And the personal victory of that, it's going to feel really good to see the book in print, but knowing that I've had days like this, that's almost better. So, tonight it is now 8 p.m. I've spent the last half hour trying to get enough light in this room to make a video. Gotta work on that tomorrow. But right now I'm going to go off to Starbucks, and for the next 2 hours, I'm going to write. I don't think I can make it till 5 a.m. today, but I'm going to get my 2,000 words, at least. So, I will see you tomorrow.